Just before I take any questions, I would just like to say I'd like to dedicate my presentation to my family members who are here, and especially to my late brother, John Duffy, who shared with me growing up his love of 19th century French poets. So thank you.
So you were 16 when you found out you had this thing that you thought was common to everyone, right?
Yes.
How long after that did you find out that there was a word for it?
Probably just about 2 weeks later. After I had this conversation with my father at the age of 16. My father was the kind of person that was always researching everything. So I'm sure after that conversation, he just looked high and low trying to figure out what I was talking about. And about 2 weeks later, he came home with this magazine, from a used bookstore. It was a copy of Yoga Digest, and it was an article about experiences people could have in deep states of meditation. And they said, well, in deep states of meditation, people can experience sounds, can take on colors. The moo of a cow can be wine-colored. The word love can be yellow. And my father said, is that what you mean? And I said, yes, that's it. And so, there was the term synesthesia in the article. However, I heard nothing about it until years later when I was in my dentist's office and very scared of the dentist, so trying to look madly for some magazine to distract me while I was waiting. And there was a copy of Psychology Today, and it said, can you taste and hear in color? Synesthesia, the lucky people with mixed up senses. And it was written by the neuroscientist Lawrence Marks, the one that says that we are all on a synesthesia continuum from mild to strong. So I was very amazed to read this article. It actually talked about Rimbaud and Baudelaire and Nabokov, but then I heard nothing about synesthesia for about 20 years. And then there was an article in The Economist that my husband found. So, yes, Karen.
I'm just wondering, with people who hear music as color, is it particular notes always have the same color, or
yes,
it's a very consistent type of experience?
Yeah, this is pretty much one of the hallmarks of synesthesia, that is consistency. That, if A is orange, it's always orange. Or if the note C is blue, it's always blue. Yeah.
I'm so interested. Every time you read the Times, do you see the word or do you see the flower?
Well, I think I heard your question. Yeah. So your question was, when I read the New York Times, for example, am I seeing the words in black or am I seeing them in different colors? Both, because I know the print is black. I know that the words are printed in black, but at the same time, my own colors are there too. This is sort of a hard thing to explain. It's almost like imagine if you're looking at a black and white. Imagine you're watching a black and white movie, right? So literally speaking, everything in that movie is in shades of gray. But then, you see Marilyn Monroe. You don't say her hair is gray. You say her hair is blonde because that's the color it's supposed to be. Something like that, and I would take it a little farther than that, but something like that happens to me when I read. The real colors are there. At the same time, the false print color is there. Yes. Doug.
I'm having a little trouble relating what you're saying about synesthesia as an interaction between the senses and what you're saying about words, because you're reacting to the meaning of the word, which is intellectual and not sensual. So my question is, do you get the same color for cat and shop?
Cat and...
French and English, for example, the same word?
Shot is a little different because the H is like an orange...
Lexically to the letters, not to the meaning of the word.
Well, no, of course I respond to the meaning of the word too.
But meanings are not sensed, right? They're thought.
Uh-huh.
So then it isn't one sense and another sense. It's an intellectual grasping of meaning on the one side and a sensual reaction on the other.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel that divided to me, but I suppose you could say that. Yeah.
I'm curious
Yeah.
about what happens when you are in the real world and see a lot of words in a colored environment. Do you see the colors of the words on the sign and also see the colors that you associate with the letters if they're different?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's actually very, maybe you remember the Toys R Us sign? Remember those stores? And, for me, all those colors were wrong. And I would feel so irritated. Every time I saw that Toys R Us, I was thinking, why do they do that? Why do they put in all those wrong colors? So, yeah, so at the same time, you have your own color, the real colors.
That was actually my question. We see colors here on the screen. If the word were in black, is there a difference for you? Like, we see colors here.
Oh, yeah, well, those are the right colors.
These are your
Yes, those are the correct ones.